identify your purpose, as we have been emphasizing, and realize you need to release every single thing. So you are start living intentionally. John Maxwell said living with intention. That means you wake up like that, you're like, what do I have to do today on my purpose, to fulfill my purpose? Because everybody, we have a limited time. And somehow God keeps giving us more time to fulfill our purpose. Since you said you'll do it next month, God said, okay, and just give him extra 1 month. He has come and reach another story. But it's not going to continue like that. So you have limited time. So when you're feeling like your life, you just have to live. You see, I hear people make statements when I was talking about dangerous, knowing your gifts without knowing the purpose, and you become dangerous. Somebody is singing, less more, is it manje ma vie or jouer ma vie or something? So your life now is granite, you want to manje. Okay? So, but that is not the case. Your life, like I said, purpose is not for you, it's for the next generation. So you're saying that if I don't write this book, what will my children read tomorrow? The books you read today is because somebody yesterday sacrificed time to write those books. So that's all about success. You living with intention, with focus. I have to release everything that is in me because the time will come and I have to die. That's why they say walk while it is still day, because the night comes when you cannot walk again. So you can't keep procrastinating. Are we together? So purpose is you doing all that you were born. Success, sorry, is you doing all that you were born to do. So how to become successful? We see a plant growing and growing, becoming yourself. How to become successful is becoming yourself. This is not about maybe self-love or selfishness or just is it atheism, where humanism, where you think you are the god of yourself. No. The presenter on potential, when you were asked if you can have more than 2 potentials, the actual truth is, if you were created by an unlimited manufacturer, each and every one of us, we have a degree of unlimited potential. You understand it? Meaning that if you decide that you'll be good at something, you can be good at it. If you put in enough energy to develop it. That's why we are so great as humans. So it's strange that you should feel your life doesn't count or your life is not important, because there is a lot buried in you. You see that? So becoming yourself, it's one of our attacks behind becoming yourself. That's how you become successful. What do we say in leadership?
With respect to with respect to purpose.
We saw in purpose, when we were doing purpose, we said everybody has a purpose, right? Because we were manufactured for a reason. When we came to leadership, we said everybody is a leader once you have a purpose, right? Because you are to lead in that your purpose. So you're seeing that it's not about people, it's not about your environment, it's about you. So you have less reasons to give about your environment. You're understanding that? And now we are seeing that success is you simply becoming yourself. So if once you're a leader, you're a success, and you finally succeed when you lead to the end. That's you doing everything that you are going to do. That's when you are a successful person on earth. So success is not a destination. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's not like you achieve success today and you know that it is there, you have done it. It's not a destination. It's a process. Okay? So you keep going through until you arrive at the destination when you breathe your last breath to go and hear, well, to be the copy of somebody else. It's not you trying to follow an artist. You know, I have a serious problem, Charlie, when we were growing up. When we were in secondary school, perhaps, let me put it that way. And you see, he actually made a funny quote that your parents will give birth to you, suffer to bring you up. Maybe they will not even eat to send you to school. And then they come and ask you that, what's the best couple in the world? You say Beyonce and Jesus. The person will say the tornado that will fire you is still in Zimbabwe making sports. You're realizing that. So you have been brainwashed at that time to see those people as some kind of gods. So you have to dress like them, you have to talk like them, you have to make your hair like them. So in doing that, you're becoming a photocopy and you're losing your originality. And like I said, the photocopy can only go as far as being very close to original. You can never cross. So you're automatically limited yourself. So success is you becoming yourself. So decide today to appreciate yourself. First, your color. Your
race.
Color, I mean, sorry.
Race.
Okay, race. Complexion, sorry, thank you, that's what I'm looking for. Your complexion, okay? You appreciate your complexion, you appreciate your height. You stop saying, if I was only as tall a little bit as this, if I was only short, if I was only fat or slim, a little bit as this, if I was only short, if I was only fat or slim. That's not success because you're not being yourself. So you start becoming successful when you're first appreciating who you are, okay? So now you can now develop it fully. A mango seed that keeps complaining, why am I not paid, will never even grow.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you're more focused on how you could change. So it's funny that you have the whole industry, the fashion industry, built on that, on us not trying to be ourselves. So you can be like this man by wearing his brand. You see that? You can, you have the mutilation industry or surgical plastic surgery industry, so you don't like your nose, you go and reshape it. The moment you're doing that, you're losing your originality. Okay? So that is becoming successful is you becoming yourself. You're doing everything that you were born to do. So it's not a destination, meaning that you can never brag. You say, oh, look at that man, I've written 10 books, he has written only one. As long as you're still alive, there's still more to do. Because as you're saying you're written 10 books, there's somebody ahead who has written 50 and he's not even saying anything. He has not even coughed. You see that? So it's you just being focused on becoming yourself. This is important because I want us to live here and get focused on running on our own lane. And stop being distracted by what is happening around. Because that way, until you're focused, you cannot be, how can I say, intense or impactful. It's just like thick juice and viscous juice. If you mix it with water a lot and other things, it's not concentrated. So you want your life to be concentrated by you focusing only on one thing. And that's why your purpose is unique, only for you. So you focus on it. Now you leave it to go and focus on other people's things. And that's how it becomes dangerous. So the plant here just simply tells us that success is a process. And you need to grow in your level of success. You understand it? So when we started our YouTube channel for like 1 week or 1 month, we'll maybe have just, I'm even saying Cameroon, just we are represented as viewers. Okay? And like 2 years now, like I just checked there, like I mentioned, 10 countries watching. Okay? So we didn't just swell there. It's a process. But the challenge we have today is we are not patient to go through that process to becoming yourself. So you want to just fake an image that you have hammered. We call that swelling. And when something swells instead of growing, the moment challenges come and touch it, it just bursts. And all the liquid inside comes out. So that's the life of many. You thought that this person is somebody until the storm comes and then you realize that he's just leaf. So you want to be patient to go through the process. Your objective is not that you should be known. The objective is just that I should finish what I was here born to do. Okay? Are we together? Good. We did together?
Yes, we did.
Good. So you should be patient to go through this process. And of course, on that purpose, you saw what it takes to go through that process. So that gradually you can have stamina to stand challenges. Now, the power of your thinking as regards to success. One of the wisest kings who ever lived said, he made a statement, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. I don't know if you really appreciate the intensity of what that statement has to say. As your thinking is, that is who you are, that is how you are. So the moment you think you can make it, first step to making it. The moment you think you cannot make it, forget it. Somebody say even the village, the witches in the village, I think they can go on break. Because the moment you're thinking that you cannot make it, they don't even need to waste their resources to buy charm. Okay, so as a man thinketh, so is he. If your thinking is locally, you're going to end locally. If you develop your thinking to internationally, you cannot help but end up internationally. You see that? Okay, so success is not manipulation or manigance or things that you're concocting. You just have to know your purpose, get focused on realizing it, becoming yourself, and improve your thinking. Your thinking here could connote, if you take a look at that plant, the room in which you're growing. If you plant a mango seed in a limited room, the eventuality is at a certain rate, when it reaches the roof, it will bend and then start bearing fruits at that height. True or false? Okay, so it has been limited to that space, and so it ends there. So if your thinking is one, the moment you do one, you feel like you've finished it. You write one song, people will not leave you. You go everywhere, have you heard my song? Have you heard my song? Okay, but once you develop your thinking to a higher degree, and that's the same how you command results to a higher degree. Notice I said the challenge you have with leadership is a historical account of oppression and colonialism. So it makes you want to think little and just one. You remember when you're writing a difficult test? So I don't get Abraham 10 on 20. Major manage C for that course, just forget on top. Okay, that is your thinking. And somehow, did you ever realize that somehow when you say you want C, you have C? Did you ever realize that? I mean, probably, just probably, if you have said I want B, you forget B, you're saying probably. So that is your thinking. You realize that? So if your thinking is small, you're going to end small. So look at your life right now. It's your thinking that has brought you there. Because every day you have a lot of choices to make, a lot of opportunities show up. But it's your thinking that determines what you choose. Which talks about related to your attitude, which we saw under leadership. Okay, related to the philosophy of life. So whatever comes your way is not important as your thinking. Because it's your thinking that you process that. You see that? So the degree to which you succeed is a degree to your thinking. That's what that image reflects. So if you can develop your brain to think higher, you're preparing yourself to succeed higher. Okay? If you can develop your brain to think higher, then you're preparing or setting yourself up to succeed higher. So now we have, which brings us to how you have to develop your thinking potential. That time is past, God. Did your parents ever tell you probably a story of when they saw the first time they saw a car or an airplane? Did you ever get those kind of stories? Because the first way you develop your thinking potential is exposure. Exposure here connotes to the experience you have had or the things you have seen. If you grew up in a town where the biggest house is a carabot, and you want to dream about building your house, you know, when we are dreaming how the honeymoon, you come and be living with your spouse, perfect, like you said, right, unrealistic expectations. So what your mind is a carabot, how you'll be painting it with him, and the child is smiling. Because why? You grew up in an environment where the highest house was carabot. So you cannot think beyond your exposure. So exposure means that what you have seen, what you have experienced. Right? So if you go to a school where the highest average is 11, you know that 11 is a key. Until you come somewhere and they see somebody hit 19 and is crying. You know those kind of students, right? So you're crying out of if you are alone with 9. Somebody is having 19.9 and is crying like he didn't have 20. It's like you should gang up and beat him up first. So that is exposure. So until you see it being done, you may think it can never be done. That's what I'm showing here, right? So this summit is possible because we saw other Cameroonians doing something similar. So we said, okay, so it can be done, then we can do it, and possibly do it better. That's the advantage of exposure. So sometimes you should decide to just give yourself exposure just so that you can develop your thinking capacity. Okay? For example, an author, T. Harv Eker, talks about you just saving some money to go to a 5-star hotel and go and dump it there maybe every month. When you're gathered, you just go and give the guy, you should give me 5-star treatment. That's exposure. Because once you lie and they give you those massages, which is different from the maybe carabot or the blank chairs at home. Okay, you're feeling like, so it's possible to have more comfort. Okay, that's the first stage. Not that you can already have it, but that you know it's possible. It can be done. It has been done. It exists. You know, one of the challenges we have in Africa is say, when we're in school, the way we are seeing the world, nothing can be invented again. But every day we are getting new inventions. So the difference between us and them is exposure. So you wonder why a 16-year-old, probably a mobile phone now, a 16-year-old child in Japan did it as his class project, and your junior brother throws it and you're slapping him. You see, the difference is exposure. At maybe 6, that child was already exposed to circuits, so it was not strange to him. When we are doing chemistry here or all those things, we are not exposed to the environment. So you write advanced level chemistry and you go to the lab 3 times. Okay, then you expect to invent a new cure with that kind of exposure. So you should realize that the difference is exposure. Once you are open to possibilities, then your mind kind of just expands. You may be thinking that it's not possible for somebody to build this kind of house. Then the moment you see somebody has done it, your mind just expands and say, wow, it's possible. So I can now even try to go higher than that. That is the power of exposure. So decide today to take personal responsibility to see how you can give yourself exposure. Douala is a great town. I mean, you can go to Aqua, not far from here, and you see something close to skyscrapers, which is one of the highest you can see in Cameroon. Okay, so someone who is living probably in Boya or somewhere, a village, he doesn't see those buildings. Okay, you who are here, you have the opportunity to go there, just go and look at them. Just stand there and say, okay, something can be this big. It means that I can actually do something bigger, or I can do something better.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is like talking about competition, but in a positive sense. If, like I said, if you're competing only in a classroom where people have 11, 12 average, the day you have 12, you're comfortable, perfect. But you go somewhere where the standards are higher, you realize that you have to also raise your standards. So what I'm challenging you is from today, raise your standards. Even look at your friend. If your friends are not challenging you to raise your standards, it's time to make new friends.
Yes.
Realize that. So if they're at the same level, you want people who will take you higher. And once you're with those people higher until nothing is higher again, you leave them higher. I mean, it's your life. You can employ and fire friends, right? You're the CEO. You are right. So that is the power of exposure to your success. And another key to developing your thinking potential is dreams. A scientist, Albert Einstein, says that you can move from point A to B with logic. So you can use logic to calculate and you move from point A to B. He says, but with imagination, you can go anywhere for free. Okay, so one thing I don't understand, I tell people to dream. First of all, it's free, right? Dream yourself collecting rent from America.
Yes.
You go and build the house and the possibilities. My personal counselor always tells me, but that there are no limitations. There are no limits. There are no limits. There are no limits. Because you find that because of the exposure you've had, you can think and end somewhere. Okay? Okay? During our workshop, we are going to take an exercise that is related to exposure. So how many of us, maybe we should just take it now, how many here can buy a car, you believe you can buy, be honest, you can buy a 10 million? Okay. To be realistic, you give us the mark of the car. It's not just going to qualify because you have put your hand. So it means that you're snatching people now. So a car for 10 million, and so you go to your hand. You give the mark, you'll buy 10 million. So I don't like to say more than 10 million. Okay, a car for 100 million. 100 million. Okay, one hand. 1 billion.
1 billion.
Okay. Car, we cannot really relate to car, or maybe mostly because the majority of us here may not own cars. We may not have owned cars yet. Now, let's talk about the watch. You can buy a watch for 1.5. Everybody.
1,000.
50,000. 150. Can you buy a watch after 150,000? That's because I'm already just because you watch for 30 million. The watch 30 million. Okay, that talks about our point for dreaming. That's the exercise, which is also related to exposure. Okay, but the idea is you should train your mind to see that nothing is too much. I'm sure if you're honest, when we're calling the prices, it was reasonable. And when you got to a point, your brain said, too much. Now you probably started just to console yourself, say, well, I use 30 million to buy a watch. I could give 20 million to charity. You just want to show that you are kind, right? The honesty, we know that is your capacity. That is. So, dreaming helps you stop that blockade, because it's a blockade that is there while you were growing up. To think that something is too much for you. Okay? In all our houses, I can boldly say that there are some places that are kept there for a special occasion. And that occasion up to today, since you were born, has never reached. You realize, so it's like the plates are too good for you to eat it. You've seen that? So maybe take a challenge. If you have such, just go to there and remove one. It's enough. Eat inside. That's your thinking capacity of development. Okay? Exposure. To know that something is not too good for you. It's not that you end up buying a watch for 30 million. Okay? I may not do that because it may not make sense to a certain point. Okay? It's like burying somebody in a new Lamborghini. It doesn't make sense. You understand it? So, but that you should say you won't do it because you're like, when you're calculating the logic, you don't feel it making sense. Not that you won't do it because it's more than you. I can make difficult to explain. It's a paradox. Okay? Are we getting it? Okay? So you don't do it because it's more than you. What do they say? They say black man say poor man say Guinness bitter. Right? Is he saying Guinness bitter because Guinness is bitter? Because you cannot afford the Guinness. Yeah, so you should not say 30 million for a watch is too much just because your mind cannot handle that. But because you're responsibly saying that if I want to do it, I can do it. But I don't think that is responsible for me to do it. You're seeing that. And that comes with you developing your thinking capacity. So just decide, just go online and spend time. Like I did in 2016 when I was developing my mind. Just go look at Rolex watches. You see a watch 2 million. A small watch that. So you that. There's nothing in it. Not that you're fantasizing to one day buy, it's not great. It's It's like you're trying to break the mental block. I myself am worthy of this. Because I see a lot of things we start around. Okay, many people are here are representative of the organization. But how far your organization will go is your thinking. And you probably as a leader or the person who sent here, related to the leader, I remember we said everything rises and falls on leadership. So if the leader has small mentality, just many people are down on the cause to small land. Okay? So you want to develop your thinking capacity by these different exercises so that you realize that you are worthy of everything. So go home, move that plane and eat. Okay? If you dare, break it after that. But I'm not responsible for that. So as we attempt to conclude and get into our workshops, taking action when it comes to success. Because now we have said all these things. If there's no action, we're not going anywhere. You can build a plane and paint it nice. If it doesn't take off, it's not a plane. At best, it's a house with tires and a wing, or wings. Okay? So action is what takes you from point where you have dreamt, point where you have discovered your purpose, to point where you're realizing it. Meaning that you have to kill procrastination by all means possible. Procrastination, wanted, dead or alive, something like that. So it's action that would help you achieve all what you were born to achieve. Do all what you were born to do. You can't keep giving excuses you're not in the right place. You can start somewhere. You can start somehow. It's not capital. Somebody who says, you gotta have capital, forget. If you give him capital, you'll do something else with him. Okay? So, for those representing organizations, it's not capital. If your organization starts where it is with what it has, and it makes enough impact, the people who are touched by that impact will spread the news, and you'll see somebody coming to say, okay, I heard about you people, so how can I be of help? I like the vision. But if you just start, okay, the social discover our purpose. Organization to empower girls. We're going to meet the governor, we need 15 million to set up. I bet you when they give you that 15 million, and you go and try to set up something, it's difficult. You just travel to live there and establish yourself. Forget about the vision. Okay? So action is what makes the difference between two people. We can talk all we want to talk, but if we don't take action, we will not be here. We will not get anywhere. Okay? Yeah. So, okay. Almost like. So, besides procrastination, what are one of the major hindrances of people taking action, or of you taking action? Talk about yourself.
Fear.
Yeah. Fear of what? You can't just fear.
Not knowing the right action to take.
If you know your purpose, you have a vision. You have the
Fear
right
of failure. Fear of failure.
Fear of failure. Nice. Any other?
Lack of vision.
Previous? Okay. Previous success. Okay. I have arrived.
Not a good environment.
Not a good environment. So does the environment stop you from taking action?
Yes.
Yes.
The company.
Okay, at least not a good environment. I believe you can handle that from all of yourself. Just a fear, and maybe any other thing, workshop, or you just answer the question. Fear of failure is still not even a good reason. Okay? Because if I'm honest with you, this is our first session that we are organizing offline. Reason for the Union is 2 years, this month, 4th November, and we have not had any live thing where we even go to school, even though it's the vision statement. But our first, this thing is like this, and we are daring to bring people to a place like this, and we don't even know how it's going to take on. Okay, what gives you the boldness to take such risks is because of the power of purpose. Okay, so you can't fear failure if you're convicted about your success. Remember, a leader, purpose, conviction. So if you have purpose, you don't have conviction, that's when you can fear failure. So conviction, I actually wrote an article there. I believe we would be exposed to our website and platforms and all of that, so we can always keep in touch and follow more resources there. I wrote an article about why people easily give up. It's a fear of failure. When you're not convicted about something, you easily give up. You hear a testimony about Thomas Edison. So he's inventing, he's running on tight budget, and then the lab that costs millions of dollars burns down. And so he comes, instead of complaining, his first question is like, so we are going to build a new lab, we are going to do this, we are going to do that, we are going to do that. And everybody's excited. Now he says, do you know where we can get money? So his first problem was not the money. He's so convicted that he just has to go through. Okay, so it's not a good reason for not to succeed. So everything centers around purpose. You're realizing it and developing it. So if you're convicted, you know you can never fail. Yeah. So okay, before we go to the 3 powers of success, taking action must be a daily habit for you to develop it. If you're breaking procrastination, it must be something you do it consistently, because once you succeed once, don't say you're guilty and you relax your muscles. So it's like muscles that you keep doing, going to the gym to develop them. The moment you skip a day, a lot of things go down. So you must decide to be a proactive person. Once an idea comes, you take action. Like now, as ideas are coming, you're documenting it. No one put you on your pillow and sleep and say Dominion Sony was the best. No. Somebody was asking about certificate. I was like, the only certificate we'll give you is the results you can command out there. So once you go out and you're producing good results, we can call you and say, hey, you were here? Okay, now take certificate. Because it's not just about you to come and take something and add to your CV. You have a training to start results there. You realize that. So you must develop yourself to be taking quick action and stopping at nothing, because ideas drop. The moment you delay, the passion starts weighing down. Have you noticed that? Okay, you got an idea, okay, you need money. I could buy shoes and sell it to my friends. Yeah. Bam, it's still hot. It's like boiling. The moment you procrastinate, it starts getting cold. Finally, you do about that business. It's nothing again, because you didn't take action. Okay? And action means that you don't care about others. It's your life. Okay? Others may not be taking action concerning their lives. You have to deliberately rise to take action and to step up to achieve what you want. Okay? So there is enough space at the top as we go to the 3 parts of success for success. There is more than enough space at the top for everybody as I'm going there. So I hope to see you there. But you have to forget about others.
That's sweet.
That's what I say. I say I'm going there, and I hope to see you there.
Yeah, we are going.
Okay. Live for yourself. Say I am going there.
Okay.
Thank you. So you have to, irrespective of what others are doing. Have you gotten to a situation where you want to do something, but you look around, nobody is doing it? You also just withdraw. Right? So that is lack of action. And you may have lost something there. I think maybe at an event that I will come and dance, everybody's withdrawing. Then you see one little girl come out, come and dance. The way they start parodying her, you come also want to start dancing, they say it's over. So, you see that? So your action is you, irrespective of others. Okay? You have to do what you have to do to succeed. You have to do what you have to do to succeed. So 3 powers for success. I came to realize, like I said, this is going to be presented for the first time in public. The 3 powers for success: knowledge power, spiritual power, and money power. If you really want to be a great person, an influential person, and to manifest the potential in you and become successful, you must manage these 3 things. There is an adage that talks about you developing your mind. You can develop your thinking potential by reading somebody's story. So you realize that he came to this kind of point and he did not give up. So they say experience is the best teacher. But the thing is that life is short to experience everything in life. So you can read about people's experiences and you have automatically lived their life without losing anything. Apart from your 3-5 that you bought a book. Yes. Or even downloaded it for free online. You know, So your spiritual power has to talk about mind, spirit, soul, body. Has to talk about you developing your spiritual connection with your Creator. Okay? Spiritual power has to talk about you standing, because you may not need spiritual power to succeed, to develop yourself. You identify your purpose, you pursue, you passion, you get there, you are at the top. Now, some people come and be telling you, you have to join our fraternity to survive in this place. You have to join our fraternity to survive in this place. You have to join this, you have to put your hand this, you have to sign. So, they'll tell you that if you don't do it, this will happen. So you say you will not do it. They organize people to come and do it to you. It's like you enter a new part and then they tell you there's in Jangi, everybody is playing. So that you protect yourself. If not, thieves will come and attack you. You say you will not join. So thieves now, they send thieves to come and attack you. To confirm what they said. Yeah, what they told you. So now early morning you're calling them, where's the Jangi meeting? You want to join. Okay? But what if you had your top security and you say you're not joining that Jangi, and even when the thieves come, you stop them by your top security. You realize that. So you've developed your own security. So spiritual power is what secures you on your way to your success. It's what protects you. It's what preserves you. It's what conserves you. We together? Yes. And the last is money power. So somebody was talking about finances when it comes to you starting your organization, and even every dream each and every one of us is having here. Money is a very key part. Even our area here, like Africa, Cameroon, our economy is, we don't have the kind of financial exposure that you may find abroad. But you must have a strategy to develop your money power. Okay? You can be the firstborn in the family. You are the tallest, the biggest voice. You know, it's family meeting. It's not voice. It's money. Okay? You can sing well. After you have sung, you'll say now it's money to be this project that I want to do. So if you want to be successful, influential, developing your purpose, you must have a strategy to master that. And money should be to you a tool to get to your destination, not your destination. That's the problem. That's why we have such a negative conception about money. Okay? Even in church, even in our normal lives. Maybe when you tell your parents that you want to be a billionaire, they say, no, too much rich people and they have problems. Just have your own small money and you can do small things. Why? Because we are seeing money as the destination, not the tool. You'll be amazed as you see billionaires are